Hi, I'm Rick at Rick Turns, and today's video is... Well, in my last video, I did a platter, a Christmas-themed platter. And it was a Christmas theme because I put a little design on it. It was a bell with some holly leaves and berries on it. And I colored that with some aniline dye. For this video, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to cut a log down into some about 2-inch thick slabs. And hopefully, depending on the size of the log, I can get maybe at least 2 platters, maybe even 3 platters out of it. So let me get that log and show you. And I want to tell you, this is one heavy log. This is a piece of mulberry here. And let me get a measuring device here. All right, I got the tape measure here. Maximum diameter here, if I exclude the bark, got about 14 inches, 14 and a half inches. Let me see. The pith is going right about here. Let me turn this over. Boy, this is going to be hard to turn over. Okay. So, on this side, the pith is right here. On this side, the pith is right here. So, I imagine I can get at least 2 platter-sized pieces out of it. And it's going to be pretty wide, considering how much room I've got there. And depth here, got about 12 inches. With the pith right there, it's going to limit things somewhat. But now, I want to get my gloves on again, get this log out of the way. This is heavy. I think I mentioned that already. And now what I've got to do is chainsaw that piece. I've got my chainsaw right here. Oh, there it is. Got my chainsaw right here. I'll be taking this over on the workbench, making some cuts down that log. And then I might even have to dry it in my drying box for a while, because that's fresh mulberry. It was only cut down 2-3 months ago. All right, let's go over to the workbench. Now I'm ready for the chainsaw. You can see right here, we got my thoroughly chopped up and beat up sawbuck I'll be using, and my log right here. Now, you see over here, there's the pith right there. And over on the back side here, here's the pith right here. So to maximize this log, and of course we've got a lot of wood missing right here. Apparently the tree was split or something at some point in the past. Anyhow, I'm gonna make my first cut right down here from pith to pith, just like that. Gonna make my cut right down that way. .13-inch template, and that is pretty good. Gonna get rid of some of that sapwood there. This tree seems to have a whole lot of heartwood. Gonna mark the center there. Going to be using a woodworm screw to put it on the chuck. And I need a 3/8 inch hole right there. This. The woodworm screw, tighten it down. Let's see how fast I'm going to be able to get this to go. It's 400. $450. Okay, I'm ready to turn. Almost. I'm almost ready to turn. Face mask. No, that was a dust mask. Face mask. Now let's see. Got about 450 there. Gonna be turning at 450 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge. The first thing I'm gonna do is get this down to around on this surface. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to have to dry this a little bit. This is my very expensive, very high-tech drawing box. This part is the formal box part of the drawing box. This over here is a minor heat source. I think I've got about a 60-watt bulb in here, and there's a little fan set into the side of the box. And now the fan and the bulb are both turned on. So we got just a little bit of heat going into the drawing box. I'm gonna put this piece in. Yep, there we go. And it's about 13 inches in diameter. Just close the lid like that. Gonna stay there for a couple of days. I'm back, out of the drawing box, ready to proceed. All right, let's see if that fits. That's a perfect fit. I'll expand the jaws just a little bit. That's a really good grip there. Okay. Now, took it out of the drying box. It's wobbling some, so I'm going to clean up the outside. I may have to deepen this a little bit more once I cut away some of the outside to get it back into true. So here we go. Wow, that's shrank quite a bit. All right, I want to give it a little bit of a curvature this way. Clean this up a little bit. So, lock the spindle and take it off. And my record SC4 with 120 millimeter jaws goes on. Before I mount my platter on here, what I need to do is set up my depth finding jig. Use a square here. What I want to make sure is this edge, right here is even with this. And then when I use the rest of the jig right here, this tip is even with this. So bring it in here. And that says I'm at the edge of the chuck jaws. Since the chuck jaws are in a recess, if I cut down that far, I'm going to cut through the bottom of the bowl, which I do frequently in spite of using this. And I want to leave it right about like that. But you'll see later on in the video. So, fit that right in there and tighten it up by expanding the jaws. Here we go. I am at 800 RPM. All right, end grain. Yeah, gonna have to patch that. I might as well do it right now. Now, I've got some Starbond. This is the thick gap filler Starbond, and I think my cap is closed. Open that up. All right, I've got a little opening in there now. And I'm going to squeeze some Starbond down in here. All right, there's a goodly amount. Get some of this stuff. I don't have a whole lot of sanding dust there to get in. And now, get rid of all the unevenness here. And now it's time for sanding. I've kind of got fuzzy grain in here. I'm going to start with 120 grit. I usually start with maybe 180, but just because of that fuzziness, which is kind of odd, but going to get in there. I'm going to sand from 120, 180, 240, 320, and 400, and I'm going to stop there. For this bowl, I don't want to burnish the surface because I'll be putting dye on it. No, I'll be putting gilt on it. And the gilting solution, I want to make sure it adheres to the wood.